Hello and welcome to Dudes Comic Hall. I'm Jason, and it's been a while since I've done one of these videos. But hey, what can I say? The sun was shining, I had a stack of new comics, I'd eaten my lunch, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to make a haul video. So here I am. Hopefully, I can start getting back into doing these. It might not be every week, it might be like every fortnight, but hopefully I can start doing more of these as life settles down. So yeah, 12 books I picked up today. Originally it was going to be 13, but DC had put Forever Evil up to $4.99, and I was like, no, I don't want to pay $4.99 for that book. You know, I've got to a point with it where, like, if it had come out when it was supposed to, I would have probably paid $4.99 for it. But because, like, I'm not really that bothered with what happens in it, I more want to get it just to complete the series. So I may get it next week when I get paid, but right now I can't be asked. I didn't have the cash on me. I would have had to use my card, and I couldn't be bothered. You know, it wasn't something I extra specially wanted. I may go back and get it when I get paid, like I say, but right now, you know, I think there's some goodwill. DC should have put that book $3.99 because it's late out, and they should have enticed people to pick it up, because I didn't even know it was going to be dearer. So yeah, so that sucked a bit. But anyway, it's nice that I spoke about that, because we're kicking it off with DC Comics. So first up, we have Batman Beyond Universe, issue number 10. I really love this book. I'm a bit behind in it. I've got a couple of issues I got to catch up on, but we've got this big storyline at the moment called Justice Lords Beyond, which I'm really looking forward to reading. This is based off the old cartoon series Batman Beyond, which is the Batman of the future, and it has like Justice League Beyond in here as well. And it's a really good book. It kind of carries on from where the TV show left off, and I've been enjoying this one. Like I said, I'm a bit behind, but yeah, I can't always get that one from my comic shop. Sometimes they're sold out, but thankfully today it was my day off, so I got up there early and they had a copy left, so that was a nice little bit of business. Next up, we have Batman Eternal, issue number 7. I really don't like that cover. The last couple of covers for this book I've not liked, as well as like the last issue I was really disappointed in. It started off so strong and now it's gone weak. It's called Batman Eternal. I like to think of it as Gotham Eternal, and as such I think this can draw a lot of parallels with Game of Thrones, because Game of Thrones, you've got a lot of storylines running, and you don't see all the characters every week because there are so many stories. But if you don't see them one week, you'll get them the next week. And I think what this book's done wrong the last couple of issues, if we've got 2 new stories, but it hasn't picked up on what was happening in the first 4 issues. Now, what was happening in the first 4 issues was awesome. There was some really cool stuff, but we've just left all of that and moved on to this new stuff, and it's been a bit jarring, I feel, and I think that's hurt the series. And I know you can jump around a bit more because it's a weekly, but even so, I still feel that, you know, they should have had little bits in here from those other stories. So yeah, hopefully it's going to come back good this issue, but if the cover's any signal, I don't think it is. Another weekly book that's going in the complete opposite direction is Future's End, issue number 3. This started off okay, and I enjoyed it, and it was intriguing, and it did enough to hook me for the next issue. But I feel with each issue this is getting better, and it's on a much better trajectory as it's going up and getting better. It reminds me a lot of the old weekly series they did called 52. Because like with 52 you got characters you didn't usually see took center stage. So you had people like Adam Strange and Animal Man and Booster Gold and Starfire and Batwoman and The Question and Black Adam. Characters like that and Elongated Man, they kind of took a bigger role in the DC universe and in the story than they usually took. And this book, you've got like the Batman from the future, you've got Grifter, you've got Firestorm, you know, these characters that we don't usually see. Or I've had their books cancelled. Mr. Terrific's in here as well. They're kind of the characters that seem at the moment to be leading the story, and that's really, for me, it's really interesting to see different characters part of an event. So so far I've liked this one. Next up we have Wonder Woman, issue number 31. This is going to be one of the first books I read. If you look there, you can see on the tree, Wonder Woman has some terrific covers, but you've got a face on the tree, which I really like, and really reminds me of Game of Thrones. I think I'm getting a bit obsessed with that TV show. For a start, I can't get the theme tune out of my head. Keep in, you know, moments where I'm like, say, waiting at the bus stop or just hanging around, suddenly the tune comes into my head and I'm like, I can't stop humming it, and now I'm seeing Game of Thrones everywhere. But anyway, Wonder Woman, fantastic book, super excited for this, as I always am. We jump over to Image, and speaking of books I'm super excited about, it is Saga, issue number 19. This will be the first book I read this week. Like I say, super excited. We then have Undertow, issue number 4. Another book I'm excited for. I really love the way they do the colours in this book, that each kind of environment has its own colour palette. I really like that. I think that's really clever, and the art is good. And the story is an intriguing one, because usually we see characters like go and discover Atlantis and go under the sea, where we're kind of seeing it from reverse, with Atlantis coming onto the surface. So kind of the viewpoints in reverse, if you will. So I really like that. This is a mini-series. I recently found out it's going to end at issue 6. So I'm enjoying this right now. I'm definitely, when it's finished, I'm going to read all 6 issues back to back, because that should be good. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this one. We then have Velvet, issue number 5, which seems to be a while since we've had an issue of Velvet, but I love the creative team on this. I love the book. Last couple of issues have kind of settled down to the same kind of formula each issue. I'd be interested if they keep that up now, or if we're going to shake things up this issue. I believe this is the final issue of the first arc, so it's going to be interesting where it's going to push our story next. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this one. Then jumping over to Marvel, we have all new X Factor issue number 8. I'm so pleased. I watched Gambit's review on this. Gambit, I think it's 896. His review kind of put me back on getting this book, and I'm so glad I did, because it's a really great book. Peter David's writing is first class. You know, reading the way he writes somebody like, say, Gambit, makes you wonder why that character isn't in a bigger name book. You know, like one of the main X-Men books, because the way he writes these characters is just brilliant. He always manages to put these teams together, and sometimes there's characters that are lesser known characters, but he still makes them super interesting. So yeah, really enjoying that one. We then have the Amazing Spider-Man, which it's kind of like Spider-Man's kind of monthly now, because we've got that Learning to Crawl story that's running as well. So the main current storyline is down to once a month. So it feels a bit longer, and like I didn't realise until I kind of picked this up, and suddenly everything kind of come back to me. Oh yeah, where the last issue ended. So I'm super excited to see what's going to happen next in this. We then have the Amazing X-Men, which is not written by Jason Aaron. It's got Imminent on here, and inside it says Catherine Imminent. So no Jason Aaron this issue. So I wonder what's going on there. But I love this. Spider-Man is Amazing Friends, one of the first cartoons I can remember watching that got me into comics. Because I first started watching the cartoon shows and the reruns of the Batman TV show, and then I started buying comics from that, because I recognised some of the characters from the cartoons and the TV shows on the comic books. So a lot of nostalgia for me seeing Spider-Man in an Amazing Friends. So yeah, I'm super looking forward to that. We then have Magneto, issue number 4, which I've been loving this one. Colin Bunn has just done a great job. He's got a really interesting character. He's kind of going out, and you know, if you liked, one of the things I like personally, and I don't know if you like this too, but in X-Men First Class, when we had Magneto, Nazi Hunter, and that was just badass. And this is kind of that same vein, except instead of Nazis, he's hunting down people who are threats to mutants. People who have got an agenda and are going out killing mutants, and he's shutting them down. And I really like this whole story, and it's really cool, as Magneto's trying to stay hidden from S.H.I.E.L.D. while at the same time tracking down these people. So far this book's been great fun, and I've really enjoyed it. And it's a character I've always found really interesting, because even when he was a villain, he wasn't because he wanted power. It was because he wanted what he felt was right for his race. That as a child he saw what humans done with people that are different, and he doesn't want his race be treated like that. So I've always found him a really interesting character, and Colin Bunn is just doing some great work on that one. And my final book this week is Thor: God of Thunder. I just absolutely love that cover. This is back to its best. You've got the team back together of Jason Aaron and Hisa Brivik, And this is, if you enjoyed like the early run of this book with stuff like the God Butcher and the God Bomb, this is back to that kind of class. And this is part 4 of the Last Days of Midgard, and I'm just absolutely loving this and super excited to see what's going to happen next in this one, because certainly last issue the villain got the upper hand. So yeah, I'm super stoked for that. So a good week of books. I should be back with the review some point over the weekend. It may have been Friday, but I'm going to see X-Men on Friday. X-Men Days of Future Past comes out on Friday here in the UK. I don't know if it's the same day in America, but yeah, so I'm going to see that Friday. So hopefully my comic book review will be up Saturday or Sunday. Yeah, so that's me pretty much done. I don't know if I'll be back next week with another comic haul video, because I'm working next Wednesday, so I don't know yet whether I'll be able to get one done. If I've got the time to do it, I will do it. As always, thank you very much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. I'll see you when I see you. Hope you enjoy your new books this week. I've been Jason. This has been Dude's Comic Haul. Bye for now.